Hi! Today we're gonna be completing the quest Current Affairs. The quest requirement is Pandemonium and the stat requirements are 10 fishing and 22 sailing. The requirements are 50 coins and to have your boat docked here at Catherby. Do not waste any sailing XP on your way to Catherby. You can always take a career task to Musa Point or to Brimhaven, because these two are on the way. For the recommendations is to have 2 empty inventory slots and no teleports are needed. Where we can start this quest is here at Arnheim in Catherby, south of the bank. Let's talk to him and select option 2, what's with the duck? And then select option 1, yes, to start the quest. Arnheim wants this duck to track currents, but the Councillor of Catherby is not having non-humans working in Catherby. Let's go meet her. Let's go northeast. And north of the fletching stall, and north of the fletching store, and north of the fishing store. Enter that building, and there is Councillor Catherine. Let's talk to her and she will give you a form. To fill in this form, we will need some charcoal. You can find this in the cabinet in the corner of the room. Search it to find some charcoal, then use the charcoal on the form CR-4P, and we now need to fill in a questionnaire. What you choose does not matter, but you will need to remember what you have chosen. So either take your notepad or take a picture of what answer you have chosen. To make it easy on myself, I'm just going to select option 1 on every single question. Once you've filled in the form, let's right click and use the form on her. That you have the form. And we now need to return to Arnheim. Because even though we filled in the form, which means that we now are allowed to work here in Catherby, because we are a human and we have filled in the form, but it doesn't solve the duck issue. So let's return to Arnheim and select option 2, that you need to find the mayor of Catherby. The mayor of Catherby is a fish. This was to stop Catherine from becoming the mayor, but the fish died again, so we need another one. To do so, go east. By the way, you no longer have a need for a charcoal, you may drop it. Go to the fishing store, the most eastern store. Talk to Harry and select option 2 and then 1. I'm here, about the mayor. And then select the first option, yes, to pay 50 coins to get a mayoral fishbowl and a tiny net. With this, fish in any of these 2 aquariums to catch any tiny fish, just like in the Kandrin Easy Diary. And with this, let's return to Arnheim. You no longer have a need for the tiny net, you may also drop this. And let's talk to Arnheim. Select option 2, and he will give the mayoral chain to this new mayor of Catherby. Once we have spoken to Arnheim, return to Council Catherine, and we now need to review our filled in form to make sure that everything was filled in correctly. The 8 answers that you filled in about 2 minutes ago, you will need to give those 8 same answers. Hopefully you have not forgotten them. I made it pretty easy for myself, I just selected option 1 for all 8 of the questions. Once we have answered every question correctly, Catherine will give us a new form, but this will need to be stamped by the mayor. To do so, we will need to use this on the mayor. The mayor will take a nibble out of it, which is the stamp of the mayor. Use this new form with the nibble out of it to Catherine, and everything is done. We can now return to Arnheim, and the duck of Arnheim can now track currents. Hello Arheim. Option 2. The bylaw has changed, but apparently his ship is currently in repairs, so we are going to track or charter our first current ourselves. Let's go to our boat. Then navigate and head east. We just need to go a little bit east, to the water obelisk. Southwest of the island with the water obelisk is a ripple in the water. We will need to make our boat stand still on top of that current. Then deploy or click on the current duck. Click to continue, and now navigate with your helm again, and we now need to follow the duck. But since this duck only goes to one location for every single player, we basically can just go straight west, back to where we have docked our boat just earlier. And once you're there, go south and follow the western shore of Entrana, directly south. And south of Entrana Island is the small island where Holgerd should no longer be there if you have completed the Sea Slug quest. Northeast of that small island, with Holgerd, there will the duck be going. Just unset your sails and wait for the duck to arrive. By the way, if you've lost the duck, or the duck was just waiting for longer than a minute, then that means that the duck has despawned and you will need to return to Arheim to get another one and track this current also again. When the current duck came to a stop, pick it up for 125 sailing experience. Right, let's make our way back to Arheim, sailing straight north, back to Catherby, dock there, dock to Arheim, select option 2, and congratulations, you have completed the current affairs quest. You are awarded with 1 quest point, 1400 more sailing experience, 1000 fishing experience, access to charting currents, the current duck, 25 more sawmill coupons for oak planks, and the Mayor of Catherby. This can give you consult, or it can also be kept as a pet in your POH. What we can do with this current duck, it is just a tool just like a crowbar, so open up your cargo hold and you can store it there instead of in your bank. Okay, thanks, bye!